Guys, Uniqueness here. For today's video, I'll be showing you all some DIY ideas that will amp up your decor style in the home. Starting with a mini dining table. I'll be using this large side table to turn it into a small kitchen dining table. And I started by spray painting it gold and keeping it aside. This would have been perfect to just put a glass on top of it, but it's not high enough. So I'm going to be using some mirror risers that I got from at-home stores a while back for a wedding that I never got to use. I used this to increase the height to make it beautiful and also high enough for a dining table. The risers are going to be glued to a mirror tray that I had glued to the table already. I didn't have enough risers to make this design to start from the edge of the round mirror tray, so I just figured out a way to make it work without necessarily starting from the edge. Now I let this set overnight, and the next day all I did was just put a glass on top of it. And it is a well-balanced and sturdy dining table, like this one that I saw on Wayfair for $6.90, but I made mine for $1.50. Another inexpensive DIY idea that you can try out in the home is to make a cute side table, starting off with cardboard. I cut out shapes from the cardboard, and I will be making some sort of container where I can pour in cement to make a base for the table. I added poster board inside just to make it smooth. These are dowels that I spray painted gold, and they will be inserted inside the cement mixture. This was set pretty quickly. After 3 hours, it was already strong, so I removed the outer covering and added pads to protect the floor from scratches. Now I'm just gonna sand this down and paint it. When that was dry, I then used Christmas ornament balls to add to the design. I measured and glued down the ornament balls. This chalkboard will be the top of the table. I glued gems at the bottom and used a golden trim to cover up the rough edges that's on the Christmas ornament balls. I finally glued on mirrors to the top, and I made 2, and this is how both of them look like together. The next idea on how to add glam to your space is to work on a chair that's bare. The buttons on this chair is the same color with the overall chair, but I am going to be gluing on crystal buttons on them to glam up the chair. Now this is just a very little detail that I added to the chair that changed the entire look. Now another idea on a side table will be to take dowels and metal flowers, and I got these from Hobby Lobby. I will cut out the pieces that I want and keep them aside. These are the old tables that I'll be working on, and I'll be adding dowels to them, including the metal pieces that I cut from the flower. I used a hot glue gun to just put them in place, and then went round again with a strong adhesive to give them all a firmer bond to the table. When I was done, I let it dry for a bit and spray painted it gold. I added some extra elements to the design because I was following a request that was sent to me on how to replicate a side table that the person saw online. When I was done adding the pieces, I took it out and I spray painted it gold. I added gems to cover up the zip ties. To finish this off, I simply placed mirrors on top of them. Moving on to the next thing that really changes the look of a home will be the curtains. I tried my best to cover up these high ceiling windows. I then came up with a strategy. So I started off first by choosing a color. So I picked a shade of color that was on this nice pillow that I wanted, and then got a fabric from Joann's craft store using that inspiration. And I got a sateen fabric and I cut 6 yards of it for one side of the window and then 6 yards for the other side. This is going to be a DIY of mine to save costs because I was charged a lot of money just to cover up the windows, so I decided to just do it myself. After I was done covering up this part, the sides will be covered with bling wrap. And I'm using the bling wrap because I'm using sheer curtains in the middle of the whole drapery idea, and the sheer curtains are white. I would prefer the transition to move from silver to white rather than having it with this color going straight to white. So I think this is going to work perfectly for the design that I have in mind. I was going to use gold clips at the top only because I wanted mixing up gold and silver, but I didn't have enough of the gold clips. So after putting the gold clips, I noticed it won't really have the folded effect when it's mounted up. So what I did was use the other clips that I had that was actually cheaper. That comes in a pack of 14, and it's also going to give me a folded curtain effect that I want. Here's how it looks when it was mounted up. The color inspiration goes with everything else in the living room, like the chair and the pillows. And let's not forget the side tables that I made that are in gold. They look nice with the drapery. I'm still working on a couple of DIYs for this home, and I will definitely keep you guys updated. But just so you guys will know, I was charged $2,500 for this entire window to be covered, including the installation, which was too much, but I spent $385 doing it myself. And I really love the way it looks because no one is gonna know that I used regular basic items to make my window look this pretty. We've come to the end of the video, and I want to thank you all so much for watching. Now, if you want other DIY home videos, I have them listed out in a playlist down in the description box below. And for those of you that are new, don't forget to click on the subscribe button.